Oh well, this is the TV edition of the race that I've just done. You can watch the live version, which is the video just before this one, in the list. But this is the TV edition of today's FIA race at Suzuka, and this is the first race of the new season. Managed to get a fair bit of practice in today, so I was sort of hopeful. Qualifying went well. As you can see, we're second on the grid. I think I was only 2/10 behind Mr. Snipers there, so there we are in the new Porsche. Well, at least I had a half decent tyre strategy for this race. I kind of knew what to do. So there was only myself and two other English guys in this lobby. But what I did notice, there was a lot of Porsche. Seems a lot of people have signed for Porsche this season. I think 50% of the grid in this room was Porsche. So yeah, second on the grid, so qualifying went well. And I was just happy to be not starting on the corner or the chicane. So we got the TT in front and then a couple of Porsche behind us. So I wasn't too worried about the Porsche because I knew they'd be the same speed as me down into the first corner. And I was hoping that the TT was going to pull away because they're fast on the straights, which would give me a little bit of room into the first corner. And unfortunately for me, the TT outbraked himself, so that allowed me to go right up into first. But of course I was worried that the TT was just going to come straight right back at me because of the speed that it's got on the straights, especially whilst its tyres were fresh. I knew once they'd start wearing out I'd be able to pull away a bit, but he still had plenty of slipstream there. We were having some good clean driving as well. But would it last? And this is where I thought the TT would come back at me, especially with the slipstream. But he just braked a little bit better than I did into that chicane and managed to get himself back in front. But I was okay, I was happy with that. So I went defensive here, and hoping that the other Porsche wouldn't get round the outside. I'm not really sure whether he was holding me up, but I couldn't get past him and he couldn't get away from me, which meant that the rest of the pack was closing in. He braked a little bit early there. Well, not early, a little bit too much into that corner, but he must have needed to, so I ended up giving him a little tap, which brought me into the backed me up into Mr. Cormac's in the Renault. And this is where it all started to go downhill. So thank you, Mr. Cormac, or whatever your name was, for that tap, which spanned me right round and basically ruined my race. So the clean driving lasted nearly 3 laps. Or was this the second lap? I can't remember now. But anyway, that put me right back down into 9th. And from here on it was basically damage limitation and see what I could get out of the race. So a guy serving a penalty there, so I'll get past him before he has to do it, but even that was a bit dirty driving. He was a bit cheeky there to push through on that corner, I felt, especially seeing as that he had a penalty. I mean, what's the point? He's going to have to slow down anyway, so why impede my progress because of his mistakes? See, that pushed me down because he pushed me wide, put me down another 2 places. And which meant I had to brake, which made me back up into the pack again. So over the course of 2 laps, from being in 2nd place and getting taken out, I'm back down in 10th. So like I said, from now on it's basically damage limitations. But it's a long race and there was a lot of people on different strategies. So I was hoping that I was going to do alright. I wanted to start on the medium tyres, really, and save the softs for the end. But because I got 2nd on the grid in qualifying, I decided to stay on the softs. The car certainly had the pace on the tyres that I was on to get past Mr. Bubbletop there. But because I was worried about what he was going to do into that chicane because he was so close, I outbraked myself. Well, I actually missed my braking point. So out of the twice that I was taken out, that one was my mistake. So I'll hold my hands up for that one. Should have been concentrating on the corner coming up instead of the delta. So Mr. Bolter's got a penalty there in front, so I was hoping to get past him fairly soon. Mr. Ironbrew in front himself has got a penalty, so again hoping to get past him. Mr. Spacey here didn't quite have, I'm not sure what tyres he was on. I was still on the soft tyres obviously, and I still remember having plenty of grip, but he actually he held me up quite a bit and I just couldn't quite get past him. He didn't quite have the pace that I did. But it was some good racing between us for sure. I was just wary of those two Porsche behind closing in as I was trying to get past him. He didn't quite just have the pace in the corners. I think this is where I did manage to get past. No, is it? Oh, I can't remember. No, I think he still had quite a bit of run on me. Oh no, I did manage it. Just a bit off camera there, so you didn't quite see it. But he was struggling on his tyres. So I was certainly happy with the position here at the moment, and I decided to try and push a bit to because I obviously only managed to get up into 5th there from 7th, I think it was, because a couple of cars have obviously pitted, so I needed to push now to try and undercut them. But it was getting close to my pit stop as well. So I still had plenty of grip. I felt like I could have done at least 2 more laps on these tyres at a half decent pace. Well, not half decent, a good pace. But I had to pit really, just so that I could get all the tyres in and not slow myself down too much. I reckon this must be lap 8 or lap 9 coming up now, because I did pit on lap 9 and the plan was to go on the hards for 1 lap and then finish the race on mediums. No fuel required. Right, so here we go into the pit. So that was lap 9, so lap 10 coming up. So I was putting the hard tyres on here. Luckily I came out into some fairly clean air. Car behind wasn't too close and the car in front wasn't too close either, which I was happy about. I was like in a bit of free air, which is what I wanted. These hard tyres weren't bad actually, they had quite a bit of good grip on them. But they were obviously slower race pace than the other two compounds, so not really a good idea to do any more than 1 lap on them. 2 at the most, if you have to. So here we come in for the final pit stop. get rid of these hard tyres for some mediums to finish the race on. So there's 4 laps to go now. Of course, I've got no idea what Mr. Bubble was on tyre wise, so I was hoping that I was just going to be able to pull away from him, which it seems as though I am doing. So he was either on old softs or the hard tyre, I think. But he started to come back at me for some reason. I wasn't slow out of that corner. He must have been just he must have just had a good exit, and I braked a little bit too early for that corner probably, which meant he was able to get past. But if he was on a grippier tyre than myself, I was hoping that he was just going to pull me forwards now. And of course I was also hoping that some of the cars in front would still have to pit. So I went into the pits in 6th position, wasn't it, I think? 6th or 7th. So I was hoping at some point I'd get those positions back. But then that happened. I think that was probably because I was in his slipstream and I just outbraked myself. So that's 2 mistakes that I've made in this race and 2 unforced errors. So it's 50-50. Half other people's fault, half my own fault. But this probably, that last mistake there probably cost me the top 5. I think there must have only been 2 laps to go now, I think. So, plan now was to stay on the limit as best I can but try not to do anything silly and try not to push too hard. Bring the car home, and hopefully some people would make some mistakes like that just happened there. And hoping that on the last penultimate lap some people would still have to pit to put on the hard tyres to do their one lap. This must be the last lap coming up, surely. And I was just, yeah, last lap coming up, because I remember thinking, I hope he wouldn't take me out in that last chicane, but luckily he had to pit, probably to put his hard tyres on. But I was worried about with him being so close. Coming down at this first corner, but I needn't have worried about him. It was this guy I needed to worry about, coming out of the pits right in front of me. If I'd have just been 2.5 tenths quicker over that last lap, I'd have got out in front of him, and that would have been an extra position. I assume he's on the hard tyre, so I was hoping that I'd be able to get past him. So I decided to bite the bullet and push as hard as I could, get my elbows out a bit, which is unlike me, and get past him, which I did. And I believe I did it cleanly, even though there was a bit of a tap there. Mr. Bolter did turn in on me in that corner. I had the corner, but luckily it didn't upset either car. No, there must be one more lap. This must be the last lap then. Or have I slowed? No, that's it. We slowed down. Hazards on. Game over. So, yeah, all in all, finished 6th. I said I wouldn't go again if I got in the top 5. But I picked up 52 points for this race, and the 5th place position, I think he only got 55. So I decided that that'll do, not going again. I'll take the points. I do believe I could have done a lot better. I believe I could have got a podium, but I'm not going to risk it. I'll take those points, and that'll do me. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching if you've got this far. I believe the next manufacturer's race will be on Wednesday. I'm not sure which track it is. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Have you seen you?